Welcome to Women Winning Divorce, the podcast helping successful women navigate divorce with dignity so you can protect yourself, your children, and your assets. I'm Heather Quick, founding attorney at Florida Women's Law Group, where women win at life. Hello, I'm Heather Quick with the Women Winning Divorce podcast. Today we're discussing a modern twist on divorce settlements that's getting a lot of attention online. Who gets a Netflix password after a divorce? A recent Newsweek article highlighted the story of LaDawn Richardson, whose divorce agreement included continued access to her ex-husband's Netflix account. While it may sound humorous, the situation raises important questions about how digital assets, subscriptions, and shared accounts are handled in today's divorces. Now, during her divorce proceedings, LaDawn Richardson jokingly requested the car, the dog, and continued access to her ex-husband's Netflix account. And the provision ended up in the final settlement agreement. And I often get asked, how do attorneys evaluate whether seemingly small shared expenses should be formally addressed in a divorce settlement? Overall, that would not be best practice because, what we look at from the legal perspective is how enforceable it is. And oftentimes we will meet with clients and they'll say, well, what if he agrees to do X, Y, Z? And, what we will look at is, well, is that enforceable? And does that make sense? And if you know that, and you're like, well, I want it in there anyway, that's one thing. Knowing that it would be cost prohibitive to go to court on contempt about the Netflix password. There's an unending supply of Netflix accounts. And for $29 a month or whatever it may be, that would not be worth legal action. Now, in reading the article, she was trying to put some levity in it. And, she wanted that, but the judge thought that they would do that. So I think that you really must look at what we're talking about as far as the subscription or the account. Family law experts note that sharing, stream services, phone plans, cloud storage accounts, and other subscriptions have become part of the financial realities couples must untangle when they are separating. As our lives become increasingly digital, people may wonder what types of online account subscriptions and digital assets are commonly addressed during divorce negotiations. I think there's going to be two different conversations. And when you have children, all right, well, now should we keep that account shared? And what if the accounts where we keep all the digital photos and memories, how is that going to work? Those digital assets and things that we own are important and definitely important in deciding how we're going to do it. Oftentimes, it's wise just to make a copy for the other person. Sharing any kind of account where there's any type of sensitive information is just not good because let's just think about your ex gets hacked and something happens. And really, not by anything they've done wrong, that's just going to create a lot of bad blood. So the more you can separate anything and everything after divorce, I think is better. And what I talked about before is making a settlement term enforceable. And that's the thing that if you negotiate for something, you just should understand how enforceable is this. And it's going to depend, right? They're going to pay for college, but then they lost their job. So if they don't have the ability to pay, it's really not going to be enforceable as a contempt action, which when you're enforcing things by contempt, it has a little bit more juice to it. So that's something to consider. And the cost of enforcing things, that's something you always got to balance, right? If it's the $40 a month subscription, it's going to cost you thousands of dollars to go to court and time. And really, at the end of the day, you don't want them to see what you're watching anyway. A request like this can sometimes reflect really larger concerns, including financial insecurity, emotional attachment, or really difficulty transitioning after divorce, because many women are wondering after divorce, how do we separate all this? And it's going to be such a burden, but it is the reality of divorce. It is the separation emotionally as well as financially and really creating your own accounts and starting over. And that's really important so that you can get closure and move on. I hope this discussion has provided some insight into how divorce continues to evolve alongside technology and modern life. It highlights the larger challenges of dividing shared resources and building financial independence after separation. For more on dividing assets and negotiating fair settlements, go back and listen to episode 139. Can you master alimony, asset division, and financial challenges in divorce to protect your income? Thank you for listening.
Listeners, if you or someone you know in the Northeast Florida area is going through or even thinking about divorce, you're not alone. Taking that first step can feel overwhelming, but it doesn't have to be. Our newsletter is filled with actionable advice tailored to guide you through this process. By signing up, you'll gain the tools to face the unknown with courage and see if we're the right fit to support you during this life-changing time. Don't wait. Click the link in the show notes, fill out the form, and take the first step toward building a brighter future today.